Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to day 30 of the Wild Thing 30-Day Yoga Challenge. My name's Jonas, and today is the last day, obviously. Thank you for everyone who's been sticking through it, who's been watching, who's seen me kind of change things up. Um, we're going to end this day in a Shavasana, so I'm going to get the announcements out of the way at the beginning. Um, uh, this will be my last video for at least a couple weeks. Making a video every day can kind of be a little taxing, even if they're short. So you won't see me for a couple weeks at least, and then I'll start uploading some things every now and then. Let me know if you have anything you want to see, longer classes, yin videos, more specific details on how to do poses, like breakdown of poses and stuff like that. So yeah, if you have something that you want to see me do, feel free to let me know. What else was I going to say? So the class today, the video today, it's going to be a little longer. So I wanted to do the series one so I could like get myself in the habit of making videos. And then also to kind of introduce yoga to people who haven't done yoga before. So it's just doing it in little chunks. So the idea that like if you would go to a yoga class now, if you've done this challenge, you have a good idea of what the moves are like. But you may not have a good idea of what the classes are like. Because a 10-minute video is not a big, um, I guess, over-encompassing view of what a yoga class would be. So this video is going to be longer, so you have an idea of what a yoga class will be. It's only going to be about maybe 30 minutes. We'll see how long it takes. But this will kind of give you a better idea of what it's like to go to what would be described as a vinyasa flow or just a flow class or vinyasa. Um, and so if you ever sign up for a class like that, always check the description first, because then there's might be gentle flow. Gentle flow is a lot easier on the knees and joints, less strenuous, obviously. All level flows, kind of for anyone who's fairly healthy and fit. And then there's like advanced flows or power flows, which are usually quicker. It's those classes, not so much that it's harder, but they kind of almost expect you to know what the poses are. So there's less teaching, and so that's why it's also quicker, because there's less cueing. So when they say go into warrior 2, then reverse warrior, then side angle, you kind of can know what they're talking about. So just be prepared in case you sign up for classes. Yeah, so I think that's it. Give me a second to think if I'm forgetting anything else. No, I think that's good. You can grab your mats, grab some blocks. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but maybe not. If I think of something, I'll talk about it in the middle of class or something. You could grab some water, maybe grab a towel if you're in a hot spot. I'm in New England, so it's not hot here. My feet are freezing. But let's come down onto our backs. Grab blocks. That's one thing. Grab a block or two. And come onto your back. Your knees up. Maybe your knees are put together. Your hands could be on the floor, or one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach. And close your eyes here. So usually at the beginning of class, I like to spend a couple minutes to get ourselves prepared for the practice. Using some time to grow conscious of your body, grow conscious of your breath, without overly changing it. It's a time to forget about things that happened in the past, last week, yesterday. A time to forget about things you have to do after the video is done. tomorrow, in a month. Just using this time to settle our minds. Start to think of any sensations that you're feeling. You even say do a body scan, starting with your toes. Check in with yourself, moving up to the top of your head. And sensations also like anything that you're feeling on your skin, anything you're tasting in your mouth, anything you smell, anything you hear. You can't see anything now, your eyes are closed. This will help you stay present. The thing that makes it yoga and not just stretches and lunges and push-ups and back bends is this active mindfulness. So that's what we're using the time at the beginning. It's just to grow mindful of what we're doing and what we're thinking and how we're feeling. A lot of times in life, we just kind of float on by with our feelings, with the way we breathe, with the way we move. And yoga is practicing being more aware. Now, if your knees are together, you could bring your knees apart. You could open your eyes. You could bring your knees over to the right. Hands on the mat or the floor. Knees over to the left. Here you get a good back crack in there. Bring your feet on the mat. Feet hip distance apart. Knees up. Let's bring our hips up for bridge. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your thighs. Don't let this bridge be with your lower back. So we're just activating our legs here at the beginning. Let's bring our hips down. Let's bring our knees towards our chest. Rock side to side. And then, like an egg, you rock from your tailbone towards your shoulders and up. So you're sitting on your hips. Your feet and knees are together. Hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to go into a boat. So open up your chest towards the ceiling. Make sure you're sitting on your hips. Let's bring that right foot up. Engage that right hip flexor, the right thigh. Let's bring that right foot down. Engage the left foot. That left foot could be pointed or flexed. Bring that left foot down. Let's bring both feet up. Squeeze your feet together, squeeze your thighs together. You keep your hands on the mat here, or release your hands out. Just doing an easy warm up, so just take a couple breaths. Let's come on down and cross your legs, step back into a table. Have your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Let's inhale to a cow. Open up your heart, bring your tailbone up. Bring your belly down. Exhale back into a cat. Squeeze your chin towards your chest. Bring your tailbone down. And let's inhale back into a cow, filling all the corners of our lungs. Exhale back into a cat. Squeeze all the air out. Try to bring your tailbone underneath you. Inhale back into a cat. Cow. Never mind. Into a cow. And exhale back into a cat. Let's come back into a table. Now let's bring our hands out, fingers to the side with straight arms. Let's just go side to side a couple times to warm up our wrists. Warm up our wrists. All these planks that we're gonna do. Side planks. And since it's the Wild Thing 30-Day Yoga Challenge, I'm gonna do wild things. I haven't taught that before. It's not easy. We're gonna warm up into it. Let's have our fingers face each other, going on the top of our hands. Counter that wrist stretch. Just go side to side. You may need to bend your arms here. And let's come out of that. So wrists underneath your shoulders. Let's step that left foot back. Reach that right hand forward. Left hip in line with the right. Creating lift here, not lift, length. Now let's reach out. Take an inhale in. Exhale, reach that right elbow towards your left knee. Even try to bring your forehead towards your knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze it in the middle. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. And come on down. Step that right foot back. Squeeze that right glute. Have your toes face the floor. Inhale that left hand up. Make sure that right shoulder is active. Take an inhale in. And exhale, squeeze it all in the middle. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. And come on down. Bring your hands to the front of the mat. Slide your chest forward. Bring your chest down. Point your toes behind you. Let's inhale up into a cobra. Engage that lower back. Bring your shoulders down, elbows against your side, reaching the crown of your head forward. Let's exhale the chest down. Slide back into a child's pose. My voice cracked. Bring your forehead down to the mat or a block. Bringing your hips towards your feet. If your knees are touching the side of the mat, you could bring your feet together. You feel this shoulder stretch here. If your shoulders ever get tired in child's pose, or if this feels too tight, you go bring your hands above your head, maybe even wrapped around you towards your feet. Otherwise, keep your hands out. And always remember, child's pose is always an option. Anytime in the video you need to step away, go in child's pose, take a break. Always remember that in a yoga class too, you ever go to yoga class, don't have to follow everything the teacher is doing. It's always a good sign of a well-practiced yogi. It's not that they do everything. It's that they know their limits. They know when they need to stop, and they know when they need to modify. They know when they need to change the pose. So you could always stop the video if you need to, too. Let's tuck our feet, tuck our toes. Bring our hips up for downward dog. So bend your knees here, grip your fingers into the mat. Trying to create a straight line from your wrist to your hips. Let your head be lazy here, relaxed. Let's go onto our toes. Walk our feet towards our hands for a bent knee, forward fold. Bring your chest toward your thighs. Your hands could be on the floor or opposite elbows. You could gently swing back and forth. Now let's inhale to a half lift. Straighten the legs, elongate the spine. Bring your shoulders away from your ears. And let's exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Bring your chest towards your thighs. With your heart leading, you can inhale all the way up, standing, and exhale back down into mountain. You could close your eyes here. Your hands could be at your chest or hands to your side. It's a time to practice that presentness that we were talking about at the beginning, especially after we did a little bit of a warm-up. Check in with your body, check in with your breath. Don't want to make this video too long. So let's inhale our hands up. Let's exhale, forward fold, bend your knees. Let's inhale to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step back into a plank, kick your heels back. Engage your core. Try to create a straight line from your heels to your top of your head. If plank is ever hard on your wrists, you could always go onto your forearms. Let's bring our feet forward, bring our knees down on a 5 count. Let's bring ourselves down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Point your feet behind you. Bring your hands toward the sides, towards your sides. Let's inhale up into a locust. Bring your thighs up, bring your feet up, bring your hands up, bring up your chest. So you're just sitting on your belly and your hips. Reaching the crown of your head forward. Everything in the back is engaged. Let's come on down. Put our hands underneath our shoulders. Let's push back up into plank and back into downward dog. Find your downward dog here. Let's bring that right foot up. Have those right toes facing the floor. Don't bring it out. Bring your hips on top of each other. Don't worry about how long that right foot up is. Let's swing that right foot forward to meet your right hand. Bring that left knee down. Let's inhale up into a low lunge. Engage that left glute. Your ribs away from your hips. Bring that left hand down onto the mat inside of that right foot, twisting your chest over to the right. You can even look up at the ceiling here. Bring that right hand down. Plant your hands, bring up that left knee. Bring your hands up into a high lunge or a crescent lunge. You have to settle back your feet. Engage that left glute. Sink into that right thigh. Bring your right hand on your right hip, your fingers over to the right for a side bend here. Bring that right hand back up. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step back into a plank. Now let's bring our shoulders forward. Bring your shoulders down into chaturanga. Don't go any lower than your elbows. Keep a good plank position here. Push back up into plank. Take a breath. Bring your shoulders forward. Come down into chaturanga. Let's push up into upward dog. Squeeze your glutes on the top of your feet. Crown of your head reaching up, opening up your heart. Let's exhale back into downward dog. Good. Take a couple breaths here. Let's bring that left foot up. Again, left toes facing the mat. You're on your right toes. Let's bring that left foot forward to meet your left hand. If you ever have a hard time bringing that foot up, you could always grab your ankle and bring it up there. Bring the right knee down. Let's inhale up into a low lunge. Engage that right glute. Bring your hips forward without sinking your weight into your hips. Let's bring that right hand down onto a floor or a block. Twist your chest over to the left, looking at your left thigh or up at the ceiling. Bring that left hand down. Plant that right foot. Bring that right knee up. Your head reaching. Inhale up into a high lunge. Engage that right glute here. Bring that left hand on your left hip, the right fingers over to the left. Let's bring our hands back up. Bring our hands down to the mat. Step back into a plank. Do that chaturanga. Let's push back up into plank. Exhale back, chaturanga. Inhale up, upward dog. And exhale back into downward dog. Take a breath here. And you can step or hop your feet towards your hands. If you're hopping your feet up, do it nice and gently. So going onto your toes, bending your knees. Try not to make any noise. Forward fold here. Inhale to half lift. Exhale for a fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. And exhale back down into mountain. Take a couple breaths. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale the half lift. Half lift, plant your hands, step your feet back into plank. Bring your shoulders forward. Chaturanga. Back up to plank. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale up, upward dog. Exhale back, downward dog. Now let's bring our shoulders forward for plank here. Go onto the knives edge of that right foot. Into a side plank. So your feet can be stacked, staggered. You can bring that right knee down, or bring that left foot up. Keep on pushing against the mat with that right shoulder. Engage that right glute. Not right glute, right shoulder, right oblique. There we are. Let's come back down into a plank and back into downward dog. Bring that right foot up. Swing that right foot forward to meet your right hand. Bring that left heel down for warrior two. Have a block nearby. Inhale up, warrior two. So your heels are lined up with each other. Bend into that right knee. Left toes facing the left. Right toes facing the top. Shoulders down away from your ears. Arms nice and engaged. Gazing out to the right hand. Maybe sink a little bit lower in that right thigh. And bring that right palm up. Reach back. Reverse warrior. Bring that hand up towards the ceiling. Keeping that good lunge position there. Left hand on the shin, thigh, maybe wrapped around your hips. Bring that right hand forward for side angle. You could gently rest that right elbow on your right thigh. Open up your chest towards the left. Look up at the ceiling. That back, you're pushing against the knife's edge of that back foot. Back leg is nice and engaged. Inhale back up into warrior two. Straighten the right leg. Reach that right hand forward till you can't reach anymore. You can come down into triangle. I'm going to demonstrate with a block here. Putting it outside of my right foot. Have a micro bend in that right leg. You should feel this in your hamstring. And feel a nice stretch all on the left side. Let's bend that right leg. Let's plant our hands. Step our feet back into plank. Bring your shoulders forward. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale back up into plank. Shoulders forward. Exhale down, chaturanga. Upward dog. And back into downward dog. Bring our shoulders forward. Side plank onto the left side, going onto the knife's edge of your left foot. Find your side plank here. You could bring that right foot up. You always do side planks on your elbows and forearms if you need to. Let's come back down into a plank here and back into downward dog. Bring that left foot up into the sky. Three-legged dog. Swing that left foot forward. Prepare for your warrior two. Bring that right heel down, inhaling up, warrior two. Should be able to look down and see that left big toe. If you can't, just open up that knee. So that thigh is nice and open. Make sure your hips aren't too far back, too far forward. Just nice and right in the middle. Let's bring that left palm up. Reach back, reverse warrior. Reach that left hand forward. Rest that left elbow gently, gently on that left thigh. Swing that right hand up. Open up your chest here. Maybe sink a little bit deeper in the lunge. Stack your shoulders. Straighten the left leg. I'm going to do your warrior 2 arms. Reach that left hand forward. I'm going to demonstrate this without a block. And sometimes just put my hand on my ankle. So use a block there, or your foot, or your shin. Coming up into a triangle. Now let's bend that left knee. Bring our hands back down to the mat. Step back into plank. Bring our shoulders forward. Chaturanga. Inhale back up. Plank. Bring your shoulders forward. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale up, upward dog. Exhale back, downward dog. Come forward. Back into plank. Go off into side plank here. Now, if you want, you could go into wild thing. So bring up that left foot. Bring that left foot behind you so you're on your left toes. And then bring that left hand forward. Bring your hips up. Keep on pushing against with that right shoulder. So you're kind of doing a back bend. You're doing a side plank here. You may be on your right foot completely, or maybe even your left foot completely. Keep on bringing your hips up. And then come back into plank. Nice and easy. Good. That's wild thing. Undo the other side. Bring your shoulders forward. Chaturanga. Push back up. Plank. Bring your shoulders forward. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale up, upward dog. Exhale back. Downward dog. Woo! We're getting there. We're doing it. Come back into plank. Go on to the left side. Ninth edge of the left foot. That right hand up. Bring that right foot up and behind you for wild thing. And bring your hips up. Reach that right hand forward. If you need to go on both feet, pushing up with both feet, feel free to do so. You can even look forward. That left shoulder is nice and strong. Squeezing up. Let's come back into plank. Take a breath here. Bring your shoulders forward. Chaturanga. One more yogi push-up. Bring your shoulders forward. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Exhale back, downward dog. And bring your knees down. And come into a child's pose. Good job. You did it. So that was Wild Thing. Wild Thing looks different for everyone. Everyone's hips are different. Everyone has different shoulder positions. It's a nice, powerful back bend. Core engager. It works everything. Let's bring our shoulders up and with a good pigeon. So bring that right knee forward to meet your right hand, left foot up over to the right foot up over to the left. You can start by bringing yourself up. If you feel comfortable sitting on your hips like this, and you can hinge forward at your waist. Ooh, that was good. Bring your forearms down to the floor or to a block. Try to have that back foot pointing out and not pointing in the middle. You need to kind of wiggle in this at the beginning. Feel free to wiggle in this. And try to keep your spine elongated here. Not kind of crunching on yourself. Most of the time in yoga, we like to keep a nice long spine. Let's bring ourselves up. You can step that right foot back into plank. Bring that left knee up. Left foot out to the right. Again, you could do that back bend here, sitting on your hips. And bring yourself forward, hinging at your waist. Now, if pigeon feels crunchy, don't try to force yourself into it. You could always go on your back and do a figure 4 hip stretch. And if you feel pinching in that left knee, that foot might be too far up. Do not worry about having that shin parallel with the front of the mat. That's not the point of this. It's not like a knee flexibility stretch. It's all about the hips. And these deep stretches with the exhales, maybe you get a little bit deeper. You could bring yourself back up and a plank and bring your knees down. Bring yourself on the mat. Let's come into our final pose, into Shavasana. Your feet are out, your hands are out. If it's possible, if you have the space, make sure your arms aren't touching your ribs. Don't keep yourself confined. Make yourself nice and big, as if you're just splatting onto the floor. And don't skip this part. I used to skip this part when I was first doing yoga. But if you ask any yogi what their favorite pose is, most of the time they're going to say Shavasana. I always think of our yoga practice building up to this final moment. Our body's been worked out. We are nice and open now. Our endorphins are running wild through our body. Should be more clear-headed. Just use this time to be meditative as well as relaxed. Try to let go of any thoughts. Well, actually, don't try to let go of any thoughts, but just try to be aware of your thoughts. Thoughts pop up, you could run with them, see where they take you. Then you could use your breath to bring yourself back. When your inhales feel like you're floating off the mat. Your exhales feel like you're melting deeper into it. Now I'm going to stay here for a couple minutes. And then if you want to stay longer, just let the video will end and you can just stay longer. Thank you for staying with the challenge, everyone. Pat yourself on the back. Be proud of yourself. Be gentle to yourself right now. Thank you.